you're going to see, I think, a commonality between the two wines that we're tasting next, and also how they differ from the Pritchard Hill wines, which have a brighter, redder kind of fruit, and here moving into a much darker kind of brooding profile. Vineyardist is owned by Dirk Fulton and Becky Kukala. Becky's over there. So thank you for being here as proprietors. And I've had the privilege of tasting your wine since the very first commercial release. It's been a really fun evolution to watch. What do we need to know about 2021?
Thank you very much, Antonio. Becky and I are very pleased to be here. I've been on several panels with Antonio's company and sponsorship, but I've never had to go after Tim Mondavi. So I'm intimidated. I'm lucky. Yeah. And all the panelists here. This is a very, very esteemed panel, so we're happy to be here. And when Becky and I conceived again in the wine business, starting in 1980, we wanted to make a world-class Cabernet from Napa. And a nice offshoot, what we've learned over the years is we've made many, many friends throughout the nation that are collectors and have great palates. So thank you all for being here. We started our search for a property in 1990, and it took over 10 years. And in 2000, late 2000, we were able to find this very historical property up on the top of Diamond Mountain on the northern flank. It was farmed back in 1874 to Prohibition by Lorenz Peterson. And the property really is special. Our winemaker, Tony Biaggi, calls it a Grand Cru site. So let me try to describe why he feels that way, we feel that way. It's volcanic. It's a mosaic of volcanic material for the most part. It is northeast facing. And it's just a mosaic of soils as you step up the hill. We start off at about 1,600 or 600 feet up to 1,400 feet. The Calcardia before you is grown at the really top of the estate. It's a volcanic tuff and volcanic ash soil structure, and very expressive. The estate is so special. Becky and I feel like we need to be stewards of the site in reflection of its history and what we've done since 2000 when we started the property. We've been able to acquire 183 acres, including a large parcel from the Napa Land Trust. We farm 20 foreign grapes. There's 20 sub-blocks. We do have some Cab Franc and Malbec, but the wine before you is our flagship. It's 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, 4 different clones. As we did our plantings, we're able to acquire heritage budwood. So this is composed of that heritage budwood and then different rootstock to match the different soil structure. We farm organically. We engage in regenerative farming techniques to protect the soil as stewards. We don't till the soil. We nurture it with compost teas and a curated cover crop, and are very, very careful with it. It's such a special place. It's wild up there. We're in the forest. We don't have any neighbors around us, so we're on our own. I think all that adds character to the wines. It's very low yielding by nature, being up in the volcanic hillsides. We cane prune, which is we find even further limit yields. We thin crop at least 3 times during the growing period, and we typically produce about 1.5 tons an acre. And we make the vines just naturally struggle. The fruit is very complex and concentrated, has a lot of black fruit flavors, a lot of graphite, a lot of minerality from the volcanic material. And then, Tony brings it in. We do multiple picks from the various blocks. We're very careful in selection of fruit. We do 3 different sortings. Tony ferments it at a very high temperature and then gets it off particularly in 2021. It was, in it being a long growing season, we like that, but it was the end of the drought year, so we were conscious of managing tannins, seeking full phenolic development, but not being overrun with the tannins. So he was able to get the extraction he wanted from the fermentation in closed-top stainless steel. And then we let it finish. He presses it off at about 3 to 4% sugar and lets it ferment in our 100% new French oak barrels, mostly Terransal T5s, some Dargineaus, some Sylvain. Barrel age it for 20 months in the new French oak. He's very reductive with the olivage. Only racks it 3 times the first year, 1 time the next year. And after about 20 months, we bottle it. So please enjoy. We're happy to be here. And cheers.
Thank you, Dirk. That's great. And maybe you mentioned it, I might have been distracted for a second, but you didn't produce wine for